YouTube is actually working kind of properly. Oh yeah, it's working properly. Cause I got my the notification. Okay, we back. I'm telling you, man. I am telling you. Excuse me. Dr. Delbert Blair spoke about this phenomenon. When you start having, especially if you are part of the your own source information here. When you start having the electronics trip out around you, according to Delbert Blair, and I mean common sense, you're having a over, how could I say it, so to speak. Let me see if we got sound. Okay, we do have sound. You're having an overflow of either psychic energy or electromagnetic energy. So I tried to get on YouTube 3 times to go live. And it kept buffering. Like right now it's showing that the app itself, where it says go live, it says that it's buffering, right? But it's not buffering because I'm watching it on the laptop. So clearly it's working. So we'll figure that out. But surely just past the 2-minute marker so we can kind of talk freely. We can talk freely here. Might as well do the little intro real quick while everybody gets their notifications. Slowly but surely. To help get your notifications, put on don't just subscribe, hit the bell button. And that'll actually let you know when I'm going live. Make sure you hit the likes, drop a comment in the chat so I know you're up in here. Share it on your Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, whatever. And make sure to hit the bell button for shizzle. Let's get it. Alright. So we got a few things to talk about in a few different levels here. So the word imp, the imp, right? What's an imp? So you might hear the word implement, impression, important, impotent, etc., etc. The word imp, I-M-P, means, the etymology means to plant something figuratively, to bury, to graft, like grafting skin, to add, to insert, to set in, to mend by attaching a new feather onto the broken slump, right? But it also means a young thing, like a young seedling, right? What the reason I brought that up, because I was playing Final Fantasy VIII, and that it's like a little demon. So in the 17th century, you have the imp of the devil, or the imp of hell, which is a small demon, or a familiar, or of a witch, or something like that, right? And I was like, a servitor, right? And then the first thing that hit me was pawns, playing chess. So I was like, what if you use the imps, since they're small servitors? You would have to, well, you wouldn't have to. I decided to make it a acronym. So I was like, what could I use? What could the acronym be? At first it was going to be like, I'm making progress. That's what my initial one was. And I'm like, I'm like, nope, not going to run with that one. Not going to run with that one. Not going to run with that one. I forgot the other one I had. But they were like these positive statements of like affirmation. I'm like, no, that's not smart. It's not smart. Because go along, get along gang waits for those things. That's the point. People don't understand that. You probably like, what the hell is he talking about? I've seen people be, gifted things, opportunities, financially, whatever the case may be. Right? And really don't deserve it. And it's not that they don't deserve it, it's just that they get it by default. You know what I'm saying? It's when you go get a toy or something. Like, for example, when my dad bought me a BMX bike, because my little sister went with us, he bought her a bike too. And that's not his child. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't his responsibility. He just did it. That's what I mean by default, almost. Not like she didn't deserve it, but it was like technically if she wasn't there. Well, no, he still would have did it. My dad still would have did it because he wouldn't let me come home with a bike and she didn't have one. That wouldn't make sense. So sometimes, because a person they get it by default, they don't even understand what they got. So they'll get it. I'm not talking about my sister in this scenario. I'm just talking about in general. People will get something and forget you gave it to them, and then talk to you like, or deal with you like you ain't nothing. It's like, wait a damn minute. Like, mother, you wouldn't even be in your position. You know? It's like in class. You know, I don't have a problem with people doing anything as far as their knowledge of self, but I will take issue if you sell my library. How you gonna do something with something that you didn't even know? So I'm like, I gotta figure out a new something that for the imp thing, what that would be kind of cool in my mind, right? So I was like, oh, I know what I can do. My acronym's gonna be idiots making plans. Because if I'm using the energies as pawns, then it's just idiots making plans. Why am I saying it that way? Well, it's because of this. If I gave it a positive polar, somebody would see it and be like, oh, it has something to say. If I give it a negative polarity, like it's scary, somebody has something to say. But if I say idiots making plans, and I'm clearly talking about me using things in my life and pawns on the chessboard. So if anybody gets offended, guess what they would be? They must be an idiot making a plan. Or they're against my plans. You know, simple. And what you do is, you have to understand who and what you're dealing with. Because, for example, I was something and all this and all that, and she has a small little comments or whatever, which I don't care about because I'm like, okay. First of all, I don't care. I don't even know where you came from. I mean, I do. It came from, me saying I want to punch somebody in the mouth. And that person just, has a following of followers or fake accounts. I don't know. Who cares? But at the end of the day, this is the real key. I don't run in a cup. I don't do that. That's cowardice to me. And childish. Like not childish as in like childish, like, oh, you're a childish person. I mean like a childish mindset. Because you're basically letting or waiting, really, for somebody to tell you what to do. It's like I would never join the Masons or the Order of Temple of Set or the Order of the Nine Angle or none of that stuff. That's not my style. Because first of all, guess what's going to happen when I join? They're going to hear me and say, oh, cool, dope. Yes, we'd love to have you as a member. Start as a neophyte. It's like, wait a minute. Hold on, what? Like, so you want me to start from the beginning because I'm not in your order or whatever, your group. like I'm a sucker, basically. But that's the whole point of it, because they don't know nothing. Trust me on this one. If they did, they wouldn't have that order. If those groups knew what they were doing, they wouldn't have that type of rule or mentality. Simply because you could have somebody, you could literally only, the reason why is because of this. If I'm in the third grade, I'll use my own self for example. I was in the first grade reading at a sixth grade level. By the time I was in second grade or third grade, I was already reading at an eighth grade level, which meant that nobody in my school could technically teach, none of my peers could teach me how to read. That's the point. If I'm in elementary and I'm reading at a middle school level, then who is these elementary ass kids trying to tell me what the words say? That's how those orders work. I'm gonna go sack the cat. It does. The cat can't defend itself. So when you sacrifice them, you're really sacrificing. Smart, especially if you're doing it in a malice against, and they might sacrifice your entire lineage. I would. Respectfully, and you wouldn't even know it. I would make it look. It's called the art of war. That's the whole point on how you do these works. You got to lose to the idiots making plans. That's the only way you can win. Because if it looks like it's an actual even battle, place it and be conquered at the end. And here's the worst part: when it comes down to the energy, because again, we're talking about your experiences here. We're not talking about, now if it's people, like corporeally, if they have a body physically, okay, I guess, whatever. I'm talking about thought forms and the things that you can use when they pop up. And the best way to do it is let them pop up. Let them pop up. Because thought forms can only pop up through resonance. Things resonate from where they can reside within. And that's why I tell y'all that the go along, get along gang is not just limited to a entity of the quote unquote, how people say it, the Illuminati and all that crap. No. They're the last of your worries. Trust me on this one. If the Illuminati or the government or whoever the hell y'all claim these people are, I don't want to say no names because I don't believe they have a name. I believe they're too intelligent to do. Right? Think about it. If you understand the stuff that we talk about, you believe in calling the Illuminati just means using your. It's just like calling yourself a prophet or a teacher. Or that's why I say I teach. I am not your teacher. Y'all ain't no one's my students. They're not studying me. So ultimately, the reason I'm emphasizing this is for one reason. If the quote unquote people who understand the people who understand the powers that rule, There we go. I don't want to give them no other name besides that. Those who understand the powers or the laws or principles that rule. If you, which is the loop, time loop, if you have a certain energy that you can loop time or space, by default, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to become a target. But guess who's going to target you? Idiots making plans. It will not be the Illuminati. They would stand down. They may fund it, but they're not going to get involved. That would be stupid. Out of jail this week. Let's say 3 days, 2 nights. Let's say I am FBI. And I'm targeting one person, but I see person is elusive or has a certain type of power, then what am I going to do with my funds? I'm going to fund idiots making plans. Gang members, drug dealers, scammers, thugs, prostitutes, etc., etc. Why? Because, I'm not trying to down talk on nobody, transients, like homeless people, stuff like that. Why would I do that? People with jobs, families, trying to take care of their kids. They need a new house. They need, why? Because they're the easiest ones to get to do it. And here's the biggest thing. They're going to die anyway. Right? When it comes down to the law of averages, those people I just named are going to die. So if there's a problem, like let's say a gang, the hell would we involve directly with it? That would, let's say that don't, and then the ones that survive, well, off the street anyway. That's how the ground looks. That's why it's like with me, I got a list. I'm just waiting. It's not that I'm waiting. I'm just making sure I'm just right. You don't want to go to the grocery store, get everything, come home, be like, damn, I forgot bread. And got hamburgers, though. Ain't did nothing but buy lunch meat and hamburgers. Sloppy Joes, all types of stuff. About to make some sloppy Joes for the family. And forgot the buns. Ain't that a,
Garland, he's checked in for the Hornets.
It's like Jay-Z said on the song Dig a Hole. He said, how do you say it? I give him enough rope. He say, some. I give them enough rope. They put themselves in it. I just right there is very, very key. Why kill the puppet but leave Geppetto alive? The bell button so you can get your notifications when I do go live. Say what's up in the chat. Share it on your social medias, etc. But that line right there, dig a hole, he said, why? He said, why would I kill the puppet but leave Geppetto alive? Pinocchio do. Pinocchio Now, if you actually go look, what type of percentage I got? I got percentage as um actually ever look up and tell me on time. When I be telling people from, that's kind of what I mean. And guess what Geppetto's, hold on. So the dude who actually it's funny because the dude who makes okay, so it says a carpenter named Master Antonio, which is this is the form of Jesus now, but it's Jesus as a child. He says a carpenter named Master Antonio, but whom everybody calls Master Cherry, found a block of wood which he planned to carve into a leg for his table. When he begins, however, the log shouts out, who is an extremely poor man who plans to make it as who plans to make a living as a puppeteer. Literally, the name Pinocchio means pineal gland. Literally, this is what I mean by these people know what they're talking about. Because this story is a form of Thoth or Jehudi. Thoth the Atlantean, Tahuti, Jehudi, Hermes, or also okay. Ibis. IBS. I'm bullshit. The Phanegetai in ancient Egypt, the nosy one. And the reason it's referencing him because he's lying all the time. And he's not that he's lying, that's the whole point. He's always caught in literally the Gatorade on my way there. On my way back, right? And you was like, dang, I'm thirsty. You ain't getting nothing to drink? And I'm like, nah, I ain't getting nothing. All right. But then you find my Gatorade receipt. You can say, why you lie? I didn't lie. I didn't get. It's not that I didn't get nothing to drink. It wasn't for you. Because you said, I'm thirsty. Did you get something to drink? Now, if you said, oh, I'm about to pour up something. I got some orange juice in here. You want something to drink? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I end up getting some Gatorade. Or no, I'm good. Oh, you got something at the store? Yeah, I got some Gatorade. Those subjectively. Objectively, they're the same thing. Why? To do with my Gatorade. So in Italian, the word Pinot, like pineapple, pino, pine, and the word occhio means, or occhio means eye. Pinocchio, pine eye. But it's also for the word Giuseppe, like Giuseppe, the action. And so it comes from the word log, so it means the father of the log, the father of the tree. Joseph. And here's the ill stuff about it in ancient in Arabic. or in Islam, his name is Yusuf. Yusuf. Seth means yesterday. You means island. I am from the past. Right? Now here's the other part. In ancient Egypt, Joseph or Joseph means himself. And Joseph didn't want to marry Mary because Mary she was not a virgin. That was the point. And it was actually Mary basically grew up in the priestesshood. So she practiced magic. Her mom is named Anna. You can find her in the Bible. She's the blind prophet who predicts Jesus is coming. That's her mama. And that's the whole point why when you read the Gnostic Bible, it makes sense why Judas was treated different than Jesus when they're twins, because Judas didn't practice because he didn't understand how he basically, how could I explain it? He was so old. Him and his brother were so old as souls compared to everything else that literally he didn't get anything that a grown-up or a mature person would get. It didn't make sense to him. The Bible in the Gospel of Philip, where and I can play it, that he says there's some ladies like he says to tell you the truth, and he always would be like to tell you the truth, because he didn't even, when every time you hear him say to tell you the truth, that's when you know he about to punch you in the chest. Not literally, but that's what it feels like. He says to tell you the truth, if the beings who as nothing, one thing. Secondly, he looked at that meant that he wasn't even human. He was around humans. He was a man. He had an arm, leg, arm, head. He appeared human to them. He was not human. Because why would you say that? Because who the hell else are you talking to? Think about it. That's common sense. If I just said, if I came to your house and I'm like, yeah, if everybody that, if everybody that could hear me actually was listening, everybody was listening, I wouldn't even stop at your crib. That means you the only one that didn't hear me. So who else was I talking to before I got to you? He specifically said, if all the beings heard my message all the way through, I would never have came down to earth. Now be ashamed. And that makes it son that he had to learn about what a human being was. He didn't even know. That's where the jealous father comes in. Because who would you be jealous of? He was jealous of Adam. Because here's the key. Why he was jealous of Adam is because he had never gotten no nana. Like, I'll play it for you because I want you guys to hear this. Because you got to understand, this is not coming from me. This is information they took out your Bible. And this is the whole point. This is why these things happen. And in all actuality and in all honesty, when I say certain things, like when he said I'm not, and then it specifically says he don't even, that when you die, he's not interested in you. Then what makes you think you go into some place called heaven and you don't even know the dress code? You don't know the dress code, you don't know what time the party start, and you damn sure don't know the dude at the door. And you ain't going already here. You can't go to the place that's already here. Heaven and hell is earth. You're in a purgatory. That's why Jesus specifically said what he said when he died. Father, why have you forsaken me? He sit on the throne of the Creator himself so that when I come back, we shall come back and reign together as the 13th one. That's why the sun goes around 13 signs now, fool. That's the point. This stuff was written lifetimes ago. You think they would know this in 2012 that the sun goes around 13 signs if they was wrong? They was guessing? Because that's the point. He called him the 13th demon. Came and saved everybody already. That's the point. So when he comes back, he ain't saving nobody that can't save themselves. He's collecting. That's why I tell people, I'm telling you, you can do all the stuff you want to do here. But there's certain people, and I'm one of them, I will put your ass somewhere. I guarantee you. And you can pray to whoever you want to now, and I'll hear you. I will put you in a place. That's why I can tell how a person really died and how they didn't. And trust me on this one. If I can't find you, then that means your ass ain't dead. Or you reincarnated. So either way, you're screwed. Because if you fake your death, I'm going to give you a real one to look forward to. And everybody you know. And I'm going to have fun with it. And here's the difference between me and them. Between me and a lot of people. You niggas got to do something physical. That's the problem. Your physicality is what's going to allow me to do it. The fact you would do something that's stupid just makes it where now I can do it. And here's another key. I can still do it physically. And you wouldn't know it. Because I know more people than you think I know. And they don't like the fact that I've been scapegoated for certain things that literally they're starting to see is freaking impossible. I found out proof. Well, not me. I've been due. A couple people found out yesterday. Literally. I just walk down the block. I saw you talk to conversation. This is more than one person. Some steak at 4:30 in the morning. They said they saw me at like 2:30, and I'm like, I literally had not left my house and went anywhere yesterday. Besides, I think I went to just to walk the dog, and I went to go get incense. That's the only, which is the total opposite way of where they claim they saw me. So I'm like, doppelganger. And here was the proof. I was on YouTube live last night. Literally. So, and there's the difference between YouTube and Instagram. With my Instagram live, I can turn my video off. With YouTube, I can't. So you literally always can see where I'm at. So But because I understand that that's how things are working, I'm just like, okay, put the imp out. The idiot making plans. Of course, we're going to have the YouTube ad tapping in as usual. I really do be wanting to get YouTube Premium sometimes. Like, man, these ads. See, listen. Hold on. Listen to what he's saying. Hold on. Because he said that he talked about them getting divided right now. Where my speaker at? I went right to it. And some people, like, well, two things, kind of figure out why, how to approach it. And they always say, well, that's blasphemous. I'm like, well, what's more blasphemous? What I'm saying, what this book is saying, or the fact the thing that you believe in and what you read in your book said, and he knows everything, he's all things, and the thought form that told her to do exactly what she did, so why he punished her? That don't make sense. It's just like Dick Gregory said. He said his grandchildren asked one day, she said, well, that's stupid. And he said, why? He said, well, if there's only one devil, then why didn't God just kill? It would be irrelevant. If God killed on an ant in the desert, you wouldn't even know it happened. Because there would be nothing there for you to compare it to for it to be phenomenal. Just like the devil, if the devil was the only thing that existed, if the devil and all this and all that, how many in Genesis? Sorry, not Genesis. The flood. Sodom and Gomorrah. He literally put a curse. God put a curse on Eve and Adam by just telling. First of all, that's literally the attitude that they had and they should have had. Who the hell are you to tell me what I can do? But because you can't. Trying to tell reflections of himself not to consume, because once you consume, you live a life of consumption. Yes, psychopathic or psychopathic tendencies, then you killing somebody could literally make you a serial killer. Because you get off, you'll get off on it. It's not like you had to do what you had to do, So the fact that they ate, they had to eat. That's specifically what you're going to hear in a second. He's going to say, you have sinned, you have eaten. He don't say shit about eating an apple. The fact that you eat is a failure. Because you're consuming the life force of something else just to think that your life going to continue on, and you could eat a full-fledged meal and I can come shoot you in the back of your head in the middle of dinner. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to all it out. You're going to poop it all out within the next hour. At the dinner table. It's stupid. Not like, I'm not saying don't eat. I'm saying that you don't know what it means to eat versus to consume. It means to consume versus to absorb. That it can be swallowed. Consumption is the trade. of the orifices in which you can receive. So by like you hearing me talk, you're consuming. When you see somebody, you're consuming. When you smell something, you're consuming. Has nothing to do with actually putting something in your mouth and actually swallowing it and eating it. Has nothing to do with digestion. As the fact that you have entities that are naturally open to vibration. That's consumption. Absorption is when you understand. So reading, that's why certain people understand how to heal themselves, and they can go through anything for a long period of time and heal themselves in a space. There's no absorption. And I'm going to tell you how it works. Absorption works through water because everything is just water slowed down into a frequency. So when I eat a banana, I'm not thinking about masticating and chewing the banana. I'm thinking about the actual juice, which is how you get your nutrients in the banana. Same thing with a steak. Same. I'm absorbing the water and transmuting it. So because I don't know. The Most High is a woman. So until y'all understand that, I'm not going to reference that. Literally, in Hebrew, that's why I tell people that they worship, and I don't like to say it like that, but when people get in my class and they get caught up on certain things, like, you do realize that you've been worshiping the devil your entire life. Abrahamic religion is satanic religion. The only Abrahamic religion that's not is Sufism and Kabbalistic or mysticism Judaism. Normal Judaism, Christianity, and Islam is Satanism. Islam's the only one that kind of borderlines it because the difference is Sufism is the concept of practice or to become like it, where the others worship it in fear. And that's what it comes from, his ignorance. And that's the whole point in Egypt. Egypt, they specifically said that. They said Atem was the blind bisexual idiot god. He literally had to go through because he thought he was a man. But in reality, he was a woman. Right? And then here's the second part. The second part is why he's blind. He had to take his own eye out to find his children. And when he took his eye out because he could not be blind, he had to replace his eye with another eye, right? Here's the key on this. When the first eye came back with the kids, it was infuriated. One eye cried tears of anger, the other one cried tears of joy. And it's talking about your pineal gland. Now, here's the point on why this is very important and why I tell people the ancient text is where it's at. And you have to understand why I said imp and idiots making plans. You can't fight them on the battlefield of 3D. You can't fight these things. You literally cannot fight it in the physical realm. Because that's the whole point on why in ancient Egypt, everything faces sideways. Y'all ever notice that? The only deity that everything else is sideways. Why is it sideways? Because it's a hologram your life into your life. That's why it's hilarious. That's why I tell people that you gotta trust me. Don't challenge the you could be sitting back watching. Therefore, you dig one big hole one time. It doesn't make sense to keep going fighting one by one. No, just wait till all of them are in the same place and then get them out of here. So why did I bring up imp and Pinocchio? Right? Pinocchio's characterization varies across interpretations, but several aspects are consistent across all adaptations. Pinocchio is a puppet. Pinocchio maker is Geppetto, and Pinocchio nose grows when he lies. Pinocchio is known for having a short nose that becomes longer, which is really talking about something else, but when he is under stress. That's the point. That's the key. That's the key. Because that's why literally I always say that us as black people, we don't know how to be parents by default. Because most black people believe, not black people, people of color that ever been oppressed, we all believe your child is supposed to be obedient. That's an animal's job. Animals understand obedience and obeisance. The reward system and punishment system. Oh, you did. Oh, you was bad. You're stay in the house. That's an animal. That's how you teach it. That's why he lies under stress. Because especially if you're a man, all you need is a woman to ask you a question that you wasn't prepared for. And you could tell her the truth, and the first thing you're gonna say, by default. Anybody that you feel is some type of authority figure, you can be coming in early. You can be 10 minutes early from work. You're just sitting at your desk, and your supervisor will say, "Oh, you're here early. Oh, yeah, I was already in the parking lot, so I just pulled up." Like, that was a compliment. You ain't have to explain yourself. Good to see you here. Have a good day. Because that's the whole key. People lie under stress because hiding. Or the other way. They're afraid of telling you the truth. It's not that they've been hiding it. It's just that you don't deserve the damn truth. Sometimes people don't deserve the truth. And what I mean by that is this. Sometimes you're not in the objective realm of fact to understand the subjectivity behind truth. You know? That's how it goes. Like, somebody could be like, "Oh, yo, like I used to, I have this bad," and it ain't bad. It's just that I don't care to tell you. My mind movement is. So sometimes people will call me and be like, "Oh, where you at?" And I'm like, "I'm around the corner," and I might not be right around the corner. I might not be right down the street. But the key is, I'm not gonna move no fucking faster than you think I am. So at the rate I'm at, it's just at the same rate as if I'm down the street. I'm not moving in any rush unless it is to make it faster. So I'm not gonna tell you, "Oh, I'm 2 blocks away," so that you can be like, "Oh, so you lagging?" No, because if I tell you I'm gonna go down and I'm making the speed of what it was if I'm 2 blocks away, then what's the difference? You ain't walking with me, or you wouldn't be asking. So he literally lies under stress. In the original tale, Collodi, which is Geppetto's last name, describes him as a rascal, an imp. That's how I got on Pinocchio, because we talked about the imp, idiot making plans. Describes him as an imp and a scapegrace. Now, a scapegrace is kind of close to a scapegoat. Kind of. A scapegoat is basically somebody who gets blamed for everything. A scapegrace is a person who knows they're going to be blamed anyway, so who cares? It's a black sheep. It's like, for example, if I'm not talking to you or talking about you, but you make a statement as if I am, then guess who is the scapegoat? You. Because you just blamed yourself or allowed me to blame you for something I technically wasn't. A scapegrace would be somebody like me on a troll stroll. Rather you talk about me or not talking about me, I'll use it as if you're not or you are. And which is the same thing to me. I don't care. I have bigger things on my plate than the plate you even ate. Literally. Like people don't understand that sometimes your patience runs so thin that you could be moments away from just saying, okay, and that's it. Say okay, it's okay. One reason only. Everybody on my damn list is over damn due. Literally. You've been messing with me so long that the fact I haven't done nothing is irritating me. And others. And I don't do groups. That's what makes it most important. Because the fact that I don't do groups and everybody know I don't care, the fact that if you messing with me, they like, well, technically, he doesn't bother anybody. So if they're bothering him and he's not doing nothing, he clearly keeps saying, chill out, then what else should they do? I can be vindictive if I choose. I'll give myself a disease, make you healthy, and feed off of you just to give it to you. You want to see me fall down? You want to see my downfall? Cool. I'll build you up to knock your ass off that horse. What is that nigga doing on that nag? Get that nigga off that nag. Remember on Django? He said, why is everybody looking at me? Well, to be honest with you, they have never seen a nigger on a horse. And it's funny. This is the point of that, why that movie is. They knew better not to say nothing to this man, because if this black dude right man on a horse and they dragging dead bodies and they say they bounty hunters and he ain't hung it, and these white people is who? Samuel L. Jackson, the only black dude trying to be white. What is that nigga doing on that dad? That's what it was showing. It was showing you what I've been saying. The system is scared of those who are not scared, who are fearless. It's the scary ones, the ones who are in fear of everything, that's always going to sacrifice you. You want to get, if you ever come in your close friends, what you got? Watch you be dead the month. Seriously. Because if they can't do what you do, then what can they do? Literally. Because if somebody comes for them and you don't mess with them, you don't rock with them, and they can't do what you do, then now they need to give your ass up. And that's kind of the point. The indigo children, that's what we came here for. The indigos literally came here as sacrifices for themselves, so they didn't have to come back, but they are the guardians of the rainbow children and the crystal children. If you tapped into your indigo child, Ray, there's nothing in this universe that can mess with you. I guarantee. cannot, as long as your path, this is the key. The path of the indigo is individual. The rainbows and the crystals are collective. The rainbows are collective and the crystals bond. Indigos by their damn self. Not saying that we need to fight the war by ourselves. It's just that if you do freaking, I don't know, hoodoo, you do hoodoo, and my cousin does Palo Mayombe, and I do, the girl down the street does goddamn gosh darn Kabbalah, then I'm not going to try to judge the Kabbalist, and she's not going to try to judge me. I'm not going to try to judge the Naganga, the person practicing, because the things that they do that I do, we can't do it the same. Collectively understand it and use correspondences, but outside of that, that's not his job and it is my job. Saying it. If you're around black people, the last thing you want to say is you do voodoo or voodoo or anything that sounds like that. The reason why it's funny, the reason why voodoo is outlawed, voodoo ain't even a real thing. Dawn or voodoo. That's something totally different. Has nothing to do with that. It's just like dark magic and black magic. Black magic is that I'm about to curse your ass. Dark magic is I actually didn't even know you was talking to me. That's dark magic, because dark magic is literally you're in the darkness and you illuminate your white boy taught you this way, because that's the only way they can keep the ones that's illuminated unilluminated. Because if your entire network, since you were a child, no disrespect, because we all grew up this way. Me, you, your mama, my grandmama, my auntie, and the kids to come. We all grew up as idiots. Grew up as little idiot puppies, being trained to freaking pee on a pee pad. Letting the dog pee wherever he pees, teaching it no, and then taking it outside. You're going to do the pee pad instead. Why? Because you don't want to get your carpet messed up. That's the idiocy behind it. You think your dog has a concept of carpet? Oh, I don't want to piss on this cashmere rug. Let me just make sure that I'll jump out this doggy door. Like, I remember one time, I'll never forget this, and it wasn't, no, and it's not, like, to me, it was the dumbest statement of all time, and it wasn't a dumb statement, it was just retarded if I was a dog. The grass, first of all, I don't know why they remodeled it. It looks good, but, you know, he's a gardener, he does it, he does a great job, so, for all I know, he may have done extras just because he wanted to look good, because he stay here. I'm down for that. You know, it's not my business. I don't care. But when they took out the grass and put fake grass in, like turf, and the dog went and peed in the grass, and I was told not to let the dog pee in the grass, not by the gardener, by someone else. And I kind of like, I understood, but like I was thinking, like, as the dog, that just sounds retarded. Like, if I was a dog, I'd be pissed off. So, like, wait, basically, I've been pissing in this same spot for years before this person even showed up. And then because we got some fake grass that I can't differentiate as fake, I can't pee here no more. Oh, you got me messed up. I gotta pee. And that's what I mean by the godhood or the Christ-like mind. The Christ-like mind doesn't understand minuscule things that don't matter. Because it really doesn't. It really does. The only person it matters, not only person, only thing it can matter to is somebody's ego. It cannot matter at all. Because, first of all, the cat next door, Ricky, I'm pretty sure if he got to pee, he gonna pee in the grass. He may not poop in the grass because it's kitty litter. But squirrels, birds, skunks, raccoons, possums, I see them every day. I highly doubt they'd be like, oh, I can't piss in this turf. And that's the whole point. Because we have been raised like animals, that we think animals are supposed to be something different. Let's just keep it real. 98% of humans, like literally, when this thing does happen, I can guarantee you that if there was a ratio, animals would outlive humans 11-1. Because humans think like, how can I say it? Humans think that we were all created equal. Like, what I mean by that, I can, and I don't mean to sound rude, but I can F up your day. I can F up your entire life. I just don't want to. Because it's not important to me. First off, that'd be way too much freaking effort to even care to do something stupid like that. Because here's the key. If you messing up somebody's life, you wasting time. And the only reason why is because guess what's going to happen? When they die, they won't know where to go anyway. So what does it matter? They got to come back to you. I've done small things where and I've seen people react. I'm talking about, I literally one time, I'll never forget. I went outside to, what did I do? I think I poured out water or something. I don't know what I did. I was pouring libation. I was pouring libation in the grass for the ancestors. And then somebody said, I hope you ain't trying to put no curse on me, because it was after an argument or whatever. And I was just cleansing the area because I was technically doing it before the argument. So I just, after the argument, instead of harping on that same energy, I just continuously did what I was doing anyway. And they was like, I hope you ain't trying to curse. When they said it, that's the ancestors. Because if we got the same ancestors, and you think I'm cursing you using the ancestors, then technically that's the ancestors messing with you. Because I specifically said that I don't, when it comes down to certain people that I know, I let the ancestors handle it. And I get the from there. The merrier. That's how I feel. Because trust me, I've been in martial arts tournaments. I have great experiences in the physical realm and outside of that. Hand-to-hand combat is not something I'm afraid of. So to actually get down hand-to-hand or more, because you can't be man-to-man, I've got something for you. I'll literally eat your entire existence alive. I'm going to start in your mitochondrial DNA. I'll find your grandmother's DNA, and I will literally find every moment where there was some type of concept of you being created, and I will stomp on it. I'll make your mama miss the bus on the first date. Because you know she's going to give it up on the first one, right? You know your mama. Come on now. So with those things being said, that's the whole concept of what Adam is saying here. Listen to what he says. You ready?
They were not from the powers of the God who created us.
Let's go. Listen to what he's saying. Don't you know light moves slow as hell to a person who moves at the speed of the shadow? When you move in darkness and illuminate yourself, by the time you become illuminated, they just get the thought. You already heard it. Heard it, been there, done there, got the t-shirt, gave them the plan and everything, and already made it. Just so you can laugh at their idiocy. That's literally what it's explaining. So listen to what he's saying.
About the inanimate as we did about human beings.
Let's go. He said we just learned about the inanimate as we did about human beings. So if Adam and Eve were human beings, how they had to learn about what a human being was? And how they have to learn about what a spirit was? That's the key.
It breathed in us, and glory fled from the eternal realm from which we came. She taught me the revelation of Adam, the fall of Adam and Eve. The revelation that Adam taught his son Seth in the 700th year, saying,
here's the key on what he's saying. On the magnificent throne. That's what that means in Egyptian. Set on. That's why you sit on your ass. Because Jesus rode in on the ass. So if Seth repopulates the world, then who repopulated the world, fool? If Cain was banished and Abel was dead, who repopulated the world? Seth. Let's go.
Listen to my words, my son Seth. When God created me out of the earth along with your mother Eve.
When God created me out of the earth, the red clay, along with your mother Eve. Not and then your mother Eve. She was already there.
Went out. She taught me knowledge.
Listen to what he's saying. And this is the whole point on why divine masculine is within the woman, or the divine feminine, and the divine feminine was within the divine masculine. If you're a male, then you're by default a divine masculine. You have to open up your right. A right person. You have to use your brain. Divine masculine. It's a balancing act. That's why he keeps saying that she teaches him. There's no there. If you a man and you think you run, then you actually a little boy, or you don't know what a real man is. The real man is a front. Literally, it's literally just something there to protect the house. It's something there that trust me on this one. I can guarantee I'm a provider. I do this, I do that. Go or sin or and the only reason I'm saying that is because of this. Maybe it's the Leo in me. It could be, but I don't know any divine masculine energies in the animal kingdom or in the divine kingdom that ever provided. You don't see lions because they're stronger and they can kill anything, go hunt, and then bring it back to the lioness. You see the lioness go hunt and the lion stay at the crib. Why? Because that's the point. Only a male can raise kids. Women can nurture children. They cannot raise a child. Because lions, if I'm a lion, I'm a male lion, right? And I have female cubs and male cubs. They play with the kids. Every time the lioness cubs bite me, I yell as if I'm dying. Why? Because I'm instilling strength in them. They never think they're stronger than their father. They never think they're weaker than their father. Therefore, I cannot breed any weaklings. That's what we do by default as people of color. If you ever step up and challenge your daddy, you know what he's gonna do? Want to fight you. That's a punk. That's a bully. That's a lower energy frequency that don't even know what a man is. Because in reality, if you were to step up and challenge your dad, right? But if I beat you up, then literally anybody that you see more dominant, you're naturally gonna cower. That's why animals don't do that. Animals literally cower to their children so that their children can be strong. We we raise our children like the slave master raised us. That's why I said, hey, if I had my way, I have plenty of children in the world that need it. That's where your energy should be. That if you have a kid high frequency, your kid will kill. There exist. There are people that literally, you could be surrounded by 45 people, right? And if there's 3 people conscious in the room, that means 50 if it's broken down rationally equally. So literally those people might not even exist. They literally may have a life only because you're alive. And how I know? Kakukinesis, baby. So let's go. What he's talking about, how Eve, when she got the apple, she was able to learn the stuff that was past creativity. And that's how he figured out that God that created him was jealous of him.
Listen to my words, my son Seth. When God created me out of the earth along with your mother Eve, I went out about with her in the glory that she saw in the eternal realm. Created us and the powers with him, whom we did not know.
The powers with them is the archangels and the 7 days of the week. So Sundays is the archangel Michael, sun. Monday is Gabriel, moon. Tuesday is Samael, Mars. Wednesday is Nil, Mercury. Thursday is Zadkiel, Jupiter. Friday is Haniel or Lucifer, Venus. Saturday is Saturn, and yeah. So
God, the ruler of the realms and the powers, divided us in wrath, and then we became 2 beings.
Listen to what he just said. How did Eve come from Adam's rib? Let's break this down now, because y'all tripping. How did Eve come from Adam's rib? If he literally just said that God divided us in wrath and then we became 2 beings. And God was trying to break up his relationship. He literally was watching and stalking the relationship. That's what from the beginning. He'd show up in places that Eve, when Eve was he her, and he used the angels. And it's about to explain it. Listen to what he's saying. It's all in the text.
Higher than the God who created us.
Listen.
And the powers with him, whom we did not know. God, the ruler of the realms and the powers, divided in our hearts left us, me and your mother Eve, along with the first knowledge that breathed in us. And glory fled from us and entered another great realm. Your even come from.
And that's the point. There's nothing here you can offer us that would actually make us move and change our integrity on a spiritual level. That's the whole key. Because we don't come from here. So everything here is plaything.
The first knowledge that breathed in us.
Children.
And glory fled from us and entered another great realm. Your mother Eve and I didn't come from this realm, but knowledge entered into the seed of great eternal being. For this reason I myself have called you.
If Seth is named after the ancient Egyptian deity, of the God of chaos, which is literally not actually exist as one thing. So that's why he said, I have called you by that name.
Through those days, the eternal knowledge of the God of truth withdrew from me and your mother Eve. Then we learned about the inanimate as we did about human beings.
So how was they human if they had to learn about human beings?
We recognized the God who created us. We were not strangers to his power. After these events, our hearts darkened, and I slept in a heart darkened thought. Whose life was unreckoned. They were not for the power of the God who created you. Surpassed glory, saying to me, rise, Adam, from the sleep of death, and hear about the eternal being, and the seed of the person to whom life has come, who came from you and from Eve your wife.
That's the point. That's time travel he's describing. Because he hadn't had any kids yet. He's about to literally describe how God, okay? Now, it may sound messed up, and I'm going to end the live and come right back. But he describes how God and the archangels gang raped her. They gang raped her. That's why he specifically liked Abel's offering over. This ain't no intro, this the entree. Do that intro with Kanye. It sound like Andre. Trying to turn my baby mama to my fiance. Let's go. I tried to turn my baby mama to my fiance. Let's go.
I've always wanted to do this.
Let's get it.
What are you doing? We should probably get out of here.
Ghostbusters Afterlife, rated PG-13.
Back, and we 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 and we back, and we back, Hey, this ain't no intro, this the entree. Hit that intro with Kanye. I sound like Andre, tryna turn my baby mama to my fiance. She like music, she from Houston, like Auntie Beyonce. Man, my daughter couldn't have a better mother. If she ever find another, you better love her. Man, I swear my life is perfect. I could merge it. If I die, I'll probably cry in my own service. It was a dream. You cannot make. Hey, this ain't no intro, this the entree. Hit that intro with Kanye. I sound like Andre, tryna turn my baby mama to music. She from Houston, like Auntie Beyonce. Man, my daughter couldn't have a better mother. If she ever find another, you better love her. Man, I swear my life is perfect. I could merge it. If I die, I'll probably cry in my own service. It was a dream. You cannot mess with the beat. This is like this many rings. Y'all know what I mean. This for the kids of the king of all kings. This is the onlyest thing. This is the beat that played under the word. This is the sheep that ain't like what it hurt. This is officially first. This is the third. This is all. This is all we got. So we might as well give it all we got. This is all. I did not talk to the serpent. That's a holistic discernment. Daddy said I'm so determined. Told me these goofies can't hurt me. I just might make me some Earl tea. I was baptized like we're early. I might get Satan and swirly. Wish I could tell you it's ready. Tell you it's ready today. They don't give nothing away. You might be your way, but that don't take nothing away. Cause at the end of the day, music is all we got. Music is all we got. Music is all we got. So we might as well give it all we got. Music is all we got. Music is all we got. We know we got it. 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 Music's all we got.
All we got now. Alright, I gotta start getting ready for class, so I'll holler at you guys later. Then somebody would show up right as I'm getting ready to say that. But yeah, for those who need anything services wise, you can feel free to go to callmekek.com. KALLMEKEK.com. The link is for sure in the description box. You get the Cash App, $ Kensu Keku, exactly how it's spelled, KHENSUKEKU, for classes, tarot card readings, Akashic readings, natal chart readings, and Godhead readings, as well as classes too. So you guys can hit that up. You can also DM me on Instagram, Kensu_Keku, Kensu_KEKU. I was about to spell it in Egyptian and say KEKW. I'm like, wait, that's not it. You can hit me up there. Any services, things you may need, we can tap in. Make sure to watch this live. It's about an hour and some change long. Tapped into the concept of the imp. Or idiots making plans. Which again, like I want to emphasize, the main concept is thought forms that are no longer serviceable, that you can turn into servitors, like pawns on a chessboard. That's the concept of the quote-unquote IMP, or the idiots making plans, or the imp energy. That's how I'm viewing that, and that's how I'm using it. So for those that are tapped in, that's the way you can rock with that. Up here on NBA 2K, I have freaking 6 turnovers, getting my butt whooped, so I'm probably going to sign out. Just so I can prep for class in the next hour and 45 minutes. So for those that are taking class, I will see you. And this nigga missed it. And for everyone else, I actually do have, so the class that I'm teaching right now, that I'm going to be teaching today, we are in week 12 of 16. So this cycle is pretty much, pretty much advanced and almost wrapped up for the most part. So for those that are going to be signing up, that wants to sign up, we do have a new, has not started yet. We only did our introductory class, which was more just people getting to know each other. So feel free to sign up. Don't feel like you'll be behind. You'll actually be able to start fresh. There will be some people that was in the current cycle that because of time constraints on both of our ends to schedule things properly and be able to still make sure they get what they paid for. They may be placed into this new cycle of class, so there may be some people that may have had, the class in a certain aspect already, but other than that, it'll be brand new for everybody. So make sure you guys sign up for that. Yeah, and also subscribe to the YouTube. Go to my website, callmekek.com. Sign up for my mailing list. Hit the notification button so when I do go live, you get your notifications. And make sure to hit the like and hit the comment section as well, so I know who's up in here. Dang, there's 3 people up in here, huh? Eclectic Soul Ross, my mans. My guy. I appreciate you, man. And especially, when you be in class the entire time. Because you're in Europe, so it's like, I think Europe, right? Or is that Hami that's in Europe and you're in Australia? One of you guys, either way, 9 hours, one of the two. The fact that sometimes we do 7-hour classes, 8-hour classes, 6-hour classes, and you're literally 9 hours ahead means a lot. Oh, yeah, you're in Europe. Okay, cool. So Hami's in Australia. You're in the Netherlands. And the thing about that, why it means a lot, so people understand before we sign out. I've had people, say, oh, why don't you get a job? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And I'll be sitting there like, dude, do you know there's people in other countries that stay up to participate in a group learning process? I'm learning with y'all too. I'm not teaching, and not learning. I'm learning with y'all at the same time. So the fact that you're in the Netherlands, and still hold it down. And you can hold it down for a minute because we did an original class that we had to stop before we got this collective class. So, I'll also be going so hard on the go along, get along, simply because there are certain people that have literally may not know they're doing it, but they're doing it involuntarily, maybe, or inadvertently, delaying other people's learning processes. So I appreciate you staying patient, staying persistent, and staying consistent. And I will see you in an hour and 45 minutes, my brother. For everyone else, hit your boy up. Instagram, Kensu Keku. Kensu, KHENSU. I'm going to be redoing my Twitter. So I'm pretty sure I'll probably just keep it consistent. Kensu_Keku. And also going to be redoing my Facebook page. So I'll pretty much probably keep that consistent. But the best place to reach me at all times is callmekek.com. KALLMEKEK.com. Because you can directly email. You can join the mailing list. Dang, now it's 4 people watching. Okay. See, every time I get ready to leave, now y'all want to pop up. That's that YouTube stuff. That's why I be telling everybody make sure to hit the bell button. Make sure y'all hit that bell, because anytime versus like if you just hit the subscribe, you just hit subscribe. It's just gonna pop up on your timeline when you scroll, but that doesn't mean it's gonna let you know. So make sure y'all hit that bell. Nigga, the Charlotte Hornets is killing me right now. They're up 25. What in the world? I'm about to substitute this game. I don't even care. I'm down 25 points. I didn't even realize it until I'm like sitting here talking to y'all. And I'm like, wait, we down 25.
So no problem for Charlotte.
Wow, they blew us out 115 to 78. That's disturbing. That's disturbing. I mean, I don't play the game on like easy or nothing, so technically I didn't think it was gonna be easy. But damn, they whooped our, they killed us. I'm not playing 2K22. I'm playing 21. So basically, I'm like 13 years in. So like the Charlotte Hornets is mad good now for some reason. But I do know one thing. We down 2-0. We down 0-2 of these fools. They just mollywopped us right now. So that means the next game, I can't afford no dang on turnovers or nothing. And here's the crazy thing. I'm looking at the stats. I'm the only one in double digits. I got 22 points. The next top scorer has 8. The next top scorer has 8. The next top scorer has 8. Next top scorer 7. Next top scorer 5. These mofos got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 7 people in double digits. How are we supposed to win that game? I think that's a setup. They set me up. They had to set me up. There's no other way around it. They was like, we're gonna play them defensively and have them get blew out by 50-something points. I got blew out. I've never lost by that many. I mean, I skipped the game too. I was like, but I was already down 25. I was gonna take the L regardless. I mean, I could have fought back, but that wasn't happening realistically. I don't have the patience, let alone the time. I gotta teach class. I hate when rappers design that they said. I don't know why, but I'm the same way. I love that punchline that he said that. He said, I hate when rappers repeat the last line that they said. I'm the same way. I was like, I can't say the same thing I just said. I'm not challenging myself. Alright, thugs. I'm gonna cut it short. I gave y'all an extra little 7-8 minutes. Much love to everybody. I will see you guys in class in an hour and a half. 1 second. Next to add capital Jessup signing out. Can see you cool. I said bye. I'm about to